Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to the party. Let me check and make sure everything is working right. Looks like we've got volume on the microphone. Volume on the cat. And I am so freaking tired. Alright, so what's been going on? Firstly, as you notice, we are starting after 3 o'clock. That is the plan going forward. Here on Gondor Has No Druids. And I totally realized I didn't name my show title correctly. So let me fix that. And this is what I get for not getting any sleep. And I'll explain why that is here in just a few moments. Today is the 10th. 10/2020. Blueline. I am on the Ithel server, and I also have no sound because my headphones turned themselves off. The music went quiet. Come on, Thief. Come on. Get on over here. So what has been going on? So I did not lose my job on New Year's Eve, as originally was going to happen. Thief kitty. Hello, boy cat. So I didn't lose my job on New Year's Eve. I was supposed to get laid off. My company bought a company in Massachusetts and decided to move into that company. However, what that meant was that they were moving work up there, and we're going to lay us all off because we're not in Massachusetts. Ironically, my company's new headquarters is about an hour away from Standing Stone Games. So, fun. So, what my company's doing, though, is doing a transition. The company I work for manages convenience stores at gas stations. So I spend my days fixing gas pumps and stuff like that in their back office machines and make sure they can, do the paperwork to send into the money grubbers and whatnot. However, I used to do that for the stores. Now what I'm doing is we're converting a lot of those stores to a different server. And you know what? I don't need this because I don't have Twitch alerts on. And I won't hear them even if I did. So I'm just going to turn the headset off and be done with it. I'm not going to worry about it. However, during this conversion process, there's a triaging. Like the technicians go in overnight and do all the networking stuff and switching out all the equipment, blah, blah, blah. My team goes in and verifies that it's working right afterwards. However, that work is a schedule from 5 a.m. until 1 or 2 or until you get your work done kind of thing. Ironically, my new boss's name is Jerry, because I'm on a different team than I was at work. My previous boss's name was Mike. Now I have Jerry. Not Jerry Cordovan Jerry, but another Jerry. I spell it the same way, though. And I have been having to get up at 3:30 in the morning to drive to downtown Cincinnati to go to work. Always because I like to be prompt, showing up, being the very first person in the office. And yesterday there was so much work to do. One aspect of which we weren't told about until 10 minutes before 1. And the other, there's basically supposed to be 3 of us on our team that report to Jared, and we're all supposed to work from the spreadsheet and get stuff done. And, well, one of the 3 people I have never actually spoken to or seen, and has only emailed him once to say, hey, how are we doing all this? So as far as I know, that person doesn't exist. The other person is a technician in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, who is working from home. And then myself and Jerry, not Cordovan Jerry, my boss, work in the office downtown Cincinnati. However, I'm like, oh my god, can I work from home? Can I work from home? Can I work from home? Because I can. I mean, I've done it before. I have a company laptop. I don't need anything except an internet connection to do my job. I don't need to be in the office. So I'm trying to talk my boss into letting me work from home. Now, the thing is, if I get him to agree to this, because I've been very self-sufficient. I show up at 5 o'clock. He didn't even show up to work today. He worked from home the day after telling me that I had to go to the office today. So, Malin, Macmalong, Beldernick, Guarendes, Erdenescoteric, Apu. Apu. Cat. I have a cat. He's very noisy. So, yeah, I got trolled by my boss. Like, yeah, you can't work from home tomorrow, but I'm gonna. To be fair, he put in, literally, he came in 5:30 yesterday morning. He's rarely on time. And apparently didn't leave the office until 3:30 last night in the morning. Or some ungodly hour. So he put in a very long day, so I didn't mind quite so much that he worked from home. It's just mainly, it's like, oh, I can do that. So here's the thing. Is if I can convince my boss to let me work from home, at least next Friday and the following Monday, I will be able to stream the entirety of Weatherstock over on Landreval for the Lonely Mountain Band. If for some god-awful reason my boss won't let me work from home, I will stream as much as I can from when I do get home from work. I will be able to stream all of Saturday and Sunday because I don't work on Saturday or Sunday. But what this does mean is, assuming that I can get the permission to work from home and then I stream all of Winterstock, I will be streaming here at the same time that Corey will be streaming over on Lojo Stream, and that's okay. I know Corey pulls in a big crowd. Most of you are here because you were watching Corey and I'm an evil person and raided you on in. So it's okay. However, as much of Winterstock as I can possibly manage to stream for the LMB, I will. I do know, I'm pretty confident that Holly Berry will be recording it as usual. But, you know, we like to stream it. Cord actually did say earlier today during his show that he was considering probably doing some kind of Lotro stream of some portions of Winterstock. I need to actually talk to him about that. Because my original plan was not to bother asking permission, but to get forgiveness later on by hosting on the official, like this is being hosted on the official right now, and just whenever nobody's doing their shows. So like on Saturday night when Wayward Plane streams, she would, you know, by her launching her stream, it would automatically kill my host, and then when she's done with her show, I just put the host back on until we're done with Winterstock that day. So, that's my nefarious plan. So, Winterstock next week, Lonely Mountain Band, a crap ton of bands at this major event. It is at Thorin's Gate. I'll show you where it is. It's up here, Thorin's Gate. This little pond right here. Between this and this is the stage. You're welcome to show up. Just don't disrupt the show. Come and hang out, dance, you know, do the fun stuff. Killam's off to work. TD will be there. TD is my very good and dear friend. I love TD. TD12, I believe. I could be wrong, though. And there will be security. There are, if you don't have a character normally on Landreval, you can run through the starting instance at the very least. There will be lore masters and hunters around who will be able to shoot things and make sure that lobies can get there and survive. I will be there twice. I will be filming both as my usual character and I have a secret camera hobbit alt that will hide behind the bands and get you some really good sound. So it's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to it. I'm a little bit out of practice streaming concerts with that. In fact, I think the last one I did that with might have been Weatherstock in July. So that's happening next week. It's running from 17th, 18th, 19th, and 20th. It is a 4-day event. And that's also one of the reasons why it's not being formally hosted by Lotro Stream, because we did that last year, and aside from the music community, there were some other folks who were kind of salty that Lotro Stream was showing nothing but music concerts for 4 days straight, which I understand we have to share. So I didn't mind unless people were being jerks about it. Anyway, what else is going on in the world of Lotro? The new beacon is out already. So the beacon is really good to see. There is a link to Winterstock. And I will, it's Winterstock 7. So it's lucky number 7. And the schedule is from 1 p.m. to midnight or thereabouts on Friday the 17th. Some really awesome bands. The Gallic Villagers, the Gallic Frogs. Ooh, Dulcet Tones is, of course, a Crick Hollow band. My friends Little to No Drama. A Rockin' a Hard Place. So that's Friday. And these are all, of course, all times Eastern, so this is server time. So starting at 1 p.m. Eastern on Friday, running till midnight or whenever the High Def Dwarves are done. On Saturday, it will run from 11 a.m. up until, God help us, the BBB's playing at midnight on Saturday, which means that'll be like 1 a.m., 1:30. A lot of great bands, as mentioned. The Remediators are playing Notenzauber. See, you always have to say Notenzauber like, Notenzauber. You always got to go really low with that and go like, yeah. And then Polno Looney, The Art and the Hope. Pie, the Country Bluegrass Band, and of course BBB, which BBB will not be hosted on Lotro Stream. Just saying, because BBB is not rated T for teen, like the Lotro Stream is supposed to be. On Sunday, my kinship, the Department of Harmony and Song, well, Department of Halbert Security's band, the Department of Harmony and Song will play at 11 a.m. We got the TDs at 1. Andoon Ensemble, of course, it will be at 3. The Mardi Gras Party Band, which recently was the house band for a party, a winter, the 12th night fancy dress-up event over on Landy, will be there. And they're running until, looks like, 11 o'clock on Sunday. And finally on Monday... got a whole bunch of folks, including my friend Galdwin, her bunch of misfits. We'll be playing on Monday, and Old Wynyards will be closing out the party. Old Wynyards, of course, is the house band for the Lonely Mountain Band, or one of the house bands. They got, I think, 5 of them. And Rolling Kegs is starting, and that's going to go from 1 p.m. to 10 p.m. Eastern on Monday. So a lot of really awesome bands. It'll be a lot of great fun. And yes, I will actually be working during some of this, like on Friday and on Monday, depending on what even if I'm working from home, I still will have to be working, so that'll be fun. Fixing gas stations and convenience stores while listening to awesome music. It'll be great! As long as I don't have to call anybody. Hi, Thief. Come here. Come here. Rah! Look, toe beans. He's got toe beans. He looks grumpy, but he's actually very happy. Listen to that purr. Listen to that purr. Come on, come on. So that is next weekend. And what else do we have? Back to the bacon. Diaco D'Amelio, for those of you who were hitting the Yule Festival, during the Yule Festival, Hobbit Presents had a chance to drop either a silver or a gold present with things like housing decorations, a pet pony, pet pig, an elk. And it was really funny. That ended yesterday. I was at work at 5 a.m. I looked over into Stina's Discord where Chromite, the ever awesome, posted a comment saying, oh, hey, by the way, Hobbit presents have reset. So everybody who had gold presents got a gold present. And this was before the patch went through, so you had an extra, if you were awake, you had an extra roll for the winter presents, which are no longer available. Hopefully they'll come back for next winter, but if you notice, the Hobbit presents are back to the regular thing. So I was rolling those every single day for the entire Yule Festival. And on Evernight and on Landreval, I rolled 100 and got 200 mithril coin. So I was wasting mithril coin like crazy, and I got most of the stuff I wanted. Ironically, I did not get an elk on Crick Hollow. I'm not a huge fan of elk in general, but that was like the big thing. So I am actually on Ithil, the legendary server. Here's the other big piece of news that just came out today. During Court of the Rings, Cordovan announced that the current plan is to launch Rohan on the legendary servers in mid-February. The exact date has not been announced to us. And of course, things can change, as with any development goal or plan. You know, things go... So you never know. So what that means is the level cap on the legendary servers is going to go up, which is cool. What are you doing, cat? Meow. That means war steeds on legendary. It's going to be fun. This character is not at level cap. However, last night I was very foolishly watching Sapience because he streams Lotro here on Ithil. He's actually in my kinship, Radio Free Gallifrey. And we were running together until I started working in the evenings and couldn't, come to a stream anymore. And my character got behind. So his character's like 42 or something. And I'm only 39, so I was thinking I was going to level my character a bit today, hence the title. Now, my character is a Blueline Runekeeper. So I'm going to level as a Blueline Runekeeper because I'm a dork and I feel like I want a little bit of a challenge. What else is coming out? They are looking into the thing that was in the patch in Minas Morgul content about how they announced that you could trade sigils of Imlet Ithil for a relic, and found out that wasn't the case. So right now the current holding pattern is they're going to have to decide what they're going to do about that. They haven't yet. And also, it became readily apparent that the new minstrel instrument recipes required both landscape reputation with the White Company and also crafting guild reputation, and people kind of got upset about that. So they said they're going to revert that and remove the guild reputation requirement for those recipes. And since people were asking about it in Lotro stream Slack, oh my god, cat hair. You and your cat hair. You know what I have, though. You know what I have. Paper towel. Ugh. Since folks were asking about crafting, I managed to give a 2-page document on how crafting, in my opinion, has stunk for quite some time. And how the last 2 tiers of crafting have not been very awesome for crafters. But again, my opinion, it may not go anywhere. My suggestions for upgrading the Valors got absolutely nowhere. So, alrighty. Veranda's why no BBB on stream? Come on. Come on. You know why. You know why. Meow. Alright, so what else is in the bacon? Screenshots. Oh yeah, fan sites. There are many Lotro streamers, but I am me. This week's sale, Lotro Bonus Days, brings you a 25% crafting XP boost now through the 12th. The weekly sale is 20% off stat tomes, regen food, run speed boost, attack damage boost through the 16th. Oh, that's why it's different. That's one's the weekend, one's the long week. This week's weekly coupon gets you a free Slayer Deed Accelerator for 1 hour, 60 minutes with the coupon code SLAYFAST now through the 16th. So, let's pop that code in right now because, why the hell not? So, redeem code SLAYFAST. Last week's code was really funny. It was called hangry, like hungry and angry. I do get hangry. I totally get hangry. I try to avoid that too because it's kind of like an angry drunk. When I'm really hungry, I'm like an angry. I just snap at people, which means hi. But speaking of cool things, this is actually really funny. I don't know if you noticed in the patch yesterday, a couple of the Lobby cooking recipes were changed. And the reason that is because the vegetarian title, it's a hidden deed where you eat 6 like a stack of 6, and there's like 6 different stacks of things that you have to eat. And you get a title called vegetarian, which, if you didn't know, Cordovan, our community manager, is a vegetarian by choice. Apparently, he has been since he was a teenager, and he had noticed he had gone over the deed at some point. Because when I first mentioned it to him, I said, "Hey, you should do this." He noticed that the recipe mats weren't all vegetarian. Like pork lard is not vegetarian. Something else in it was not vegetarian, so they just changed those recipes so they're now all actually vegetarian items to create. And so I went and made a stack of those items for him last night because I needed something to keep myself awake while I was watching Sapien streaming. So I made him the 6 stacks of items and sent them, and so now one of his characters, I don't know if it's his stream character or if it's the one he plays with his kinship off stream, but one of his characters is now vegetarian. Hi. I can't play the game. So this Runekeeper is way behind. Most of her quests are round 39. And so it's basically, I've fallen behind in the epic quest because I was doing the epic up to level 30, and there's like a jump from level 30 to level 36 when you can pick up the next quest, which is what I'm going to do now. But I'm also going to pick up my level 39 class quest, which is why I'm here in Bree. Let me see what else is going on. Oh, Bullroar might still be up. Hi, Cat. Bullroar was previewing some of the stuff that was in the patch yesterday. There is a known issue with character copy. Cordovan did imply on his show that next week's Bullroar will be much longer, and that it's gonna be something really cool. So, we don't know. Bullroar may be up, it may be down soon. I personally didn't have an opportunity to mess with it. I did try character copy, and it didn't work for like 5 of my characters. Then I brought one over from Langeval, and that one worked for some damn reason. Whatever. Anyway. Alright. You have a bunch of books to help me become a better Runekeeper. Okay. So one of the reasons why I wanted to bring this character back into play was because Sapiens kind of needed some help. I don't want to buy things. I want to buy the books. Alright. Yeah, I need that. I need that. And I need Whispers in the Dark. That sounds like a song. Alright, so we've got the quests for these. So I'm supposed to talk to Elrond at the last homely house. Well, that's easy enough because I was heading there already for some other reason. And as you can see, I haven't really done any of my class. Well, I've done some of my class deeds, but not a lot of them. And that's okay. I'm not too fussed about it. This is not a completionist character. This is mainly leveling the character so I can go catch up with Sapiens and be a healer. Now, bearing in mind that for the next month and a half, I'll be doing this after a long day at work, where I will be getting up at like 3:30, 4:30 in the morning to go to work. I'm gonna be really tired, so he may die anyway. On the other hand, let's give credit where credit is due. Last night he was up in Forachel, and he ran across one of the rares. Come on, you. One of the rare elite pathing mobs. It was like one of the saber-tooth cats or whatever. Saber cat? No, saber cat is World of Warcraft, you ding dong. And I figured he was playing a hunter. Who cared if it was orange to him? I said, why don't you YOLO it? And he did. And I was completely unsurprised at the fact that he beat the rare mob. He didn't have a lot of health left. But he did do the deed. So I was actually really pleased and not, I wouldn't say impressed, because he was playing a red line hunter, for God's sake, so come on, let's be fair. And let's go talk to Elrond. Now, bearing in mind, here's the fun thing, is I'm level 39 for, like, a little bit longer, so I can't do the swift travel straight to Rivendell just yet. I have to go to Oscar first. So that's what the other thing that did happen, by the way, is the Lotro event schedule has been created for most of the new year. One interesting thing that Cord did mention on his show earlier, oops, I'm not going to want to walk away when I go over here, is that they are considering the notion of melding the Farmer's Fair and the Harvest Math into one festival in some way, shape, or form. And maybe change things up a little bit. So that would be interesting. I would definitely recommend, if you have any opinions or thoughts or suggestions on how you'd like to see that play out, definitely hop on the forums and make your commentary known. As always, please be respectful, because you know what? Speaking as somebody who had to talk to the general public, and the public didn't feel they had to be polite, it really is emotionally draining to have to deal with that kind of chaos on the daily. So, even if you're really passionate about what you want to see happen, just try to be constructive and respectful, because, you know, Cord's just one dude. What are you doing, cat? He's sniffing at something that's on my desk, and because it's new, and he's gonna walk in front of the camera, and, you know, distract me so I run into a wall. Don't you dare turn off my computer, you dummy. But I have a new toy on my desk that I got in the mail yesterday, and I haven't set it up yet because I have to go to all of my apps that have two-factor authentication and turn them off long enough so I can then install the apps on the new device. Got myself a new phone, and this is Sapiens' fault. Also the fault of the fact that my old phone will now drain its battery from 100% down to like 20 in less than 2 hours. And that's not even like watching videos on YouTube or Twitch or anything. Just like sitting there checking email or reading Twitter. I didn't know Twitter was a battery drain, but apparently it is. Alright, we got like 3 quests to talk to Elrond. Actually 4 of them, because I have the landscape quest too. Boop. We've got either a multi-boxer or very close kin mates here. Thief, why stop being a butthead? Do I think the devs are going to listen to my suggestion? No, they didn't listen to the last set. So, but, you know, make your suggestions known. That way you can't say, well, you know, if you don't make the suggestion, they won't know. Oh, hi, Wayward. Take it easy, Master Vethlo. I should hope to see you next week at Winterstock. Dancing up a storm. But that's really the thing is you could have the most measured suggestion possible and it would make a lot of sense, would make a lot of players happy, and there are going to be times when the dev team say, you know what, this is a really good idea, we're still not going to use it. Because it's like giving somebody advice. Doesn't mean they're going to take your advice. So, the only thing I can recommend is make your suggestions, and if they take it, cool. If they don't, they don't. The only thing I would recommend not doing is don't be that guy or girl, I don't know the gender of the player involved, who claimed that, you know, the devs put something in the game and it was their idea. Like, they thought of it first. And then immediately in that same post said, as many other people have also suggested, but it was my idea. You can't use it. Like, wait, what? That's not how that works. I thought it was really funny. Anyway. Terrible loss has been undone. I don't know. I did not know the glories of Beleriand. Elrond. Not that button. No, this button. Elrond. Let's see. That's not what I was looking for either. Titles. Titles helps me find these things. Let's see. Elrond. I didn't know Beleriand. I think my character's actually older than Elrond, so young whippersnapper. That's one of the things that I wish they could have done something with when they put high elves into the game. And I imagine they have the same issue with stout axes. Is that there's all this quest text that if you're playing a regular elf, it makes more sense. But if you're playing a high elf, it's like, dude, I could conceivably say that I'm from Valinor. Except I'm not that pretentious on most of my characters anyway. There's a couple. But I try not to be pretentious in my high elves because there's some dude out there who really is and is very creepy about it. Anyway. So this is, my people spoke with awe when I was young, and mourn its loss ever since. We've learned much about the link between runes and combat, but to have this book in your presence is as the first time one hears the sweetness of a harp, or beholds the silver light of the moon. Hunter's moon tonight. Or is it a wolf moon tonight? I forget. Alrighty, so many pages have been ruined by the passage of time. So this is one of those go find the pages, which means you have to shoot random mobs in the Misties or in Angmar. So there's that. This is the landscape quest. That basically is the breadcrumb that sends you over this way. Alrighty.
Will you lend me your aid?
In the name Gil-galad. Oh wait, he's making an exclamation. In the name of Gil-galad, can it be? The Lost Book of Thunder and Flame. When the darkness fell upon the Dwerodelf, now called Moria, I once took a They Might Be Giants song about Constantinople, not, Istanbul, and made it about Khazad-dûm. True story. The lyrics to said song are in my Discord if you're flagged for the band rank. Alrighty. And again, the book is kind of falling apart. And this is a dwarven thing, so I think I'm going to have to go to Moria. Well, no, it's level 30 something, so it's not a Moria thing. Whispers in the dark.
A strange fate brings you hither.
Yeah. Imagine how many books, like 3 books per class, have been lost at time, and then you have to go find the pages. Alright, Rudour is a desolate place in the end. But he doesn't tell you what to do next with any of these. Alright, here's what we're looking for.
Hope is not
Book
in
4,
vain.
Chapter 1. That's lower than I want, because I want leveling content. Book 6
strange
forward.
fate brings
This
you
is what I was looking for. Except, I think I need book 5. Speak with Aragorn. He's along the way there. No, I haven't done book 5 at all. Alright, well, we go in this way. We're gonna run across the invisible... Did they fix it? There's actually, or was, an invisible thing that would make you hop up a little bit when you walk down along that way. So I hope everybody's having a good Friday. I have been awake since 3:30 in the morning. It may get really well, not creepy, but really loopy up in here. So I'm really tired. After the show, I'm really torn because it's like I should probably eat supper, which I'm planning on coconut shrimp, I think. Something involving shrimp that's breaded or something. And I'm just going to throw that in the Instant Pot for a few minutes and see how that worked out. However, I'm really sleepy that I could probably fall asleep at 6 o'clock and sleep until 6 in the morning. I don't remember if it's coconut shrimp off the top of my head, Wayward, though. I love me some coconut shrimp. But I do have an Instant Pot now, and I try to not to use it all the time, but I fail that. Do or do not, there is no try. Yeah. And I also want to set my phone up, which will involve syncing the other one and making a backup before I do anything else. No, we're not going to take your quest. Come to the Space Coast and we can have coconut shrimp and watch a rocket launch. Rocket launches sound amazingly cool to be at. However, I can't stand Florida. I'm sorry, Wayward. I'm really sorry. I've only been to Florida 3 times. And the first time I went, because actually all 3 times I've been to Florida involved Star Wars. The first time was I drove down to Tallahassee to watch Phantom Menace back in '99 with some folks who were at the time still my friends, and they're not anymore because they did something really dumb, and they're really lucky I didn't sue their pants off for it, because I could have. They did something illegal with some data that I owned, and I just decided not to bother with them. I was just happy to kick them the hell out of my life. And the other 2 times I went down to Orlando for Star Wars Celebration, which is really cool because both times I got to meet friends of mine that I knew from social media, including a couple of actors. Actually, the first time I went to Celebration was at the request of James Arnold Taylor's agent, Concetta Parker, who is like the biggest Star Wars fan on the planet. I will fight you for that. Speaking of Star Wars, by the way, you guys probably saw like the entire internet going to town on Dr. Ed Powell about Star Wars because Dr. Ed posted a very gatekeeping comment about Star Wars, about what an actual Star Wars fan was. For those who don't know, Dr. Ed Powell is known for 2 things. One, he is the mastermind behind Mootcast for MythMoot. He's one of the folks associated with Signum University, and therefore an acquaintance of mine. I actually pretty much sat next to him half the time at MythMoot last year. He's also now internet infamous for his opinion about Star Wars fans. What happened was he did his post. I happened to see it was late, and I replied to it and called it gatekeeping, and he rebutted and said no, it wasn't. Like, yes, it is. And somebody that follows me, that I follow, we hang out at BlizzCon every year, and she still owes me for paying for her dinner at Korean barbecue, because there's like 5 million people there, and we're like, okay, how are we gonna split the check? Oh, credit card, done. she has a rather contentious following. So she saw my tweet, went back to Dr. Ed's tweet, quoted him, and said, yeah, let's not gatekeep, okay? And her community went, and then it went viral from there. It's really bizarre. And then it got so bad that I actually had to mute the conversation because it was the most popular tweet I'd ever had. It had like, last time I looked at it, it had like 2,100 or almost 2,200 likes on it. I'm like, I think the most highly rated tweet I had previous to that was like 700. And that was because I had tweeted a picture of myself and Chris Metzen, formerly of Blizzard. Alright, Book 6, Turning to the North. Guladir and Angmar talk to Darvun. He's in Esteldine. So there's a path. I also want to go back to Evendim. You see the gray thing. It's not actually a quest. It is the ruins of Evendim. The ruins of Evendim. Exploration deed. The word was just escaping me. And Aiden and Bellis at the eastern gate of Numenor. Well, that ain't happening. I'm just gonna turn that off. I have all these Evendim quests that I haven't turned off yet, and I probably should. But we're not going to. We're gonna... I really should get rid of all these quests because I'm not going to do that. I'm going to keep the Tomb of Elendil because when this character eventually does get high enough level, I'm going to have her do that solo. Or else, if we can get Sapiens to go through it, I will go in as his healer. We'll see if two of us, only slightly over level, don't get our butts kicked in there. It'll be fun. I love the whole Silithar quest line, even though it's not part of the epic story. It's very well written, and thank you, Maid of Lions, for making that happiness. Speaking of Maid of Lions, in a fashion, it reminds me of Standing Stone in general, is there is currently a plan. I have asked permission to go visit the studio when I'm up in Boston at the end of February for PAX East. Where do I get book 5 from? Note to self. Look this up on the wiki. Because if book 5 will get me some XP, that would be awesome. So, epic quests. I'm sure the last refuge, venture into the Misty Mountain. Oh, this is the one about Skorgrim. So, who do I get that from? There doesn't seem to be a prologue. It's just chapter 1 into the Misty Mountains. And you pick it up from Glowin. Why didn't Elrond give me that quest? It's only a level 42 quest, so it's only 3 levels above me. What's with Elrond? Wait, do I have it in my quest log? I don't think I do. No, I don't. That's a bit strange. Wonder why that didn't happen. Or did I forget to pick up the quest when I was talking to Elrond just a few minutes ago? Because one thing I do like about the epic is you don't have to do the epic in order. You can dance about however you like. You can let it dance and play, as Bob Ross would say when he's painting something. Doesn't this look a lot like a Bob Ross painting? Oh, wait a minute, haircuts. Why do we have like a single tree up there? There's like one little tree right here. Or it might be like hovering rocks, because Scenario causes hovering rocks. Scenario also has caused a little bit of a stir. At least we believe it's Scenario. He's the one that generally gets blamed for these or credited for these things. There is some new stuff that they put in Evendim recently. And I showed it, I believe it was last week. I'm going to see if Elrond has another quest for me, because I might have missed it. Because again, I am really fuzzy right now. I'm super fuzzy. It's a happy little tree. And yeah, there are some... Oh my god, it is Sapiens! Hi, Rick. So, Rick, I got a pet pig on this character. Actually, I got a couple of pet pigs, because I had some, I done had some, mithril coins, so I rolled a few times. But it was really cool. I got 200 mithril coin on Landreval, and then I rolled 100 again and got it again on Evernight, and I totally went ham and rolled a lot. Because what I want to do is on one of the servers... No? That's odd. I don't have...
Hope is not in vain.
I have to do book 4 before I can do book 5? That's a bit strange. That doesn't seem like... I have a feeling I should be able just to go up to Glowin and just pick up the next chapter. So I think that's probably what we're going to do. Plus the fact that one of my books needs me to go and kill things up in the Misties anyway. Good times. So I want to get some leveling. I should easily hit level 40. Big 4-0. And unlike what Sapiens might actually attempt to do, quitting at age or level 40 is not going to get you a visit by the AARP. That was the best unintentional troll ever, I grant you, but come on. You hope someday Standing Stone will let you make vocals. Ooh. That would be cool. Like a Gregorian choir. That would be neat. But honestly, here's a fun little story. A lot of the video games that have choruses, most of those games don't use Tolkienian distinctly made up languages. Like Chance Thomas, when he wrote like the chant for Sauron, which is in the Mordor expansion, you can make out distinct words, and you can sing in Sindarin. Middle-earth Maiden used to do so. And I mean, there's enough vocabulary there that you could write songs in Tolkien's languages. But in a lot of other video games, like, I'm going to use WildStar as an example here. My friend Jeff Kurtnacker, the amazing Jeff Kurtnacker, whom I was quite happy to network him and Bill Champagne together. Bill Champagne, of course, being our current composer here on Lotro. Jeff wrote some songs for WildStar that had distinct lyrics. The thing is, it was a song called The Hymn of the Sixth, because in that lore, they have these 6 scions, S-C-I-O-N, like the car brand. And these scions were like the children of the god. They were like demigods or whatever, and they were, you know, they became the foundation of the in-game religion, in-lore religion. And there was this hymn, like, you know, it was a pretty Catholic kind of, medieval Catholic kind of mentality to it all. Like, it was the church. And yes, we're gonna take these quests because they're gonna be XP. XP good. And I think at some point we had asked or interviewed him about that. It's like, where did you come up with this language? Because I'm used to the Tolkienian way of doing things, right? And he just cheerfully admitted that there was no made-up language. The only things that he had in advance to work with are the names of the 6 scions, which were given to him by the lore people. But all of the other lyrics... Huh. No questioning. Interesting. So I guess I'll probably have to ding 40 before I get that quest, which is a little bit strange, because normally you can get a quest when you're within 5 levels of it, and that one is... I'm only 3 levels away. Weird. So he basically said, yeah, he just made up the lyrics that the singers are chanting. The chorus is chanting, you know, just made up words. And that's also a bit of the same. Not quite the same in World of Warcraft. The Lament of the Highborn. Most of those lyrics are also just made up syllables for the chorus to sing. Also in Neil Acree's Night Song, which was a beautiful piece of music. In fact, I named one of my characters kind of after that song. But to be fair, again, Neil is another friend. I met him in Dublin, Ireland, like 2015, 2016? Might have been 2016. And he recently did the soundtrack of the sadly didn't take off game Ren, which was like a Viking-themed 3-faction survival towery defense kind of game. It's really gorgeous too, but it just didn't take off, which is kind of sad. But the soundtrack on it was amazing. Actually, it's one of my favorite stories from PAX East a few years ago. Is I was going to hang out with one of my press friends that I knew from Daybreak's previous company, SOE, and I wound up running into when I met up with her, thinking we were just going to go get drinks in the West, and as you do, wound up getting invited to her. It was actually a press demo under NDA for Rend at the time, and they were trying to sell me on how cool this soundtrack was, because I was like, "Oh, you got a really cool soundtrack in your trailer." And they tried to, you know, say, "Hey, our composer does this, that," and I'm like, "Do I know this guy?" And they said his name, and like, "Yeah, dude." And they were like, "You're not like impressed or something?" They were wondering why I wasn't acting like, "Oh my god, that's so cool." And it's like, dude, I know where that guy lives. But he recently released a vinyl edition of that soundtrack, and I've got it upstairs. But I don't have a record player, which is kind of sad. I should talk to Cordovan and see if he's got a spare record player he wants to sell. I was like, Gary, do you have a record player I can buy off you, man? I need a record player. I don't have one. So what are y'all doing in Lotro? I am so glad the Yule Festival is over. I was spending so much time doing that because I was grinding Starlit Crystals. And on my main, who dinged 130 last week on this show, which was really cool. I decided to save the actual ding for the show, and decided to do it in Frostbluff. But then I was realizing, you know, there's folks in the show, you know, who are on Crick Hollow who have ults there. We could go do Snowball Fight. And I really want to get off my butt and start doing more community. Like, having you folks who are in chat, if you're around and able to join whatever server I'm on, you know, maybe we could do some stuff together. I mean, just like when Sapien streams, anybody who's on Ithil who has a character in or close to the range where he's running are more than welcome to join him. I'm not volunteering that information, except he himself said it, so I'm not saying, oh, by the way, go crash the stream. And we can, you know, just do some casual leveling. We're not really here to... I'm trying to get back to, you know, playing my characters more often. But not just playing them exclusively on the show and therefore being focused on that content. The only thing is I am trying to get through the Minas Morgul Epic. So I kind of want to finish that and finish out the Black Book of Mordor. And then I can just turn my attention to, you know, just streaming on... Probably it'll be relegated to Ithil and Landreval and Crick Hollow, because that's where I have most of my play characters. I mean, I could pop over to Honor, because I know our friend Yiki. Yiki of the Many Charity Streams. That's officially your title, dude. Yiki of the Many Charity Streams. He's over on Honor. I don't know if he's still playing on Honor if he went back to a regular server, but you know. I do need to actually get my main here on Ithil up to the end of the epic story that she can access. Because she is actually at level cap. Because it's one of the cool things about Yule Festival is you can level so easily for so minimal effort. Seriously. I mean, you can do all the side, you know, the stuff that you get with every festival, like in-league, Ale Association, horse racing and stuff. But if you just go to Frostbluff and do the 10, you're going to level pretty quickly. Especially since we just had a VIP 100% bonus XP weekend, so I leveled the hell out of things. Also, hi all! Your day went sideways the moment you stepped into chat. By the way, Rick, is your company hiring right now? I seem to see who's on Kevin or Keith's page. That guy. You guys are hiring somebody? Standing Stone is also hiring. If there's anybody in chat who is a software engineer who would like to live in beautiful, snowy as hell Massachusetts where the seafood is really good and the chicken and waffles are very invisible when I'm trying to hang out with Sapiens and have chicken and waffles. We need to schedule that this year for real, just saying. Standing Stone is hiring for a release engineer. Said candidate will be taking on some tasks. Well, this is what Cordovan said during his show, or something to these words. If you want to know exactly what it said, go watch his VOD. It's up on Lojo Stream. That whoever's going to get this job will then release the current folks doing this job to go back to whatever they were doing. Looking for an agency traffic manager in the Pasadena office. Now, from my understanding, the Pasadena office is close to a Lego store or a Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles. So, Sapiens now works for Yellow Pike Media. You Google it, because you're all adulty, you Google shit stuff. Gotta not swear when I'm on the official time. Though, to be fair, I've heard the S-bomb drop out of Cordovan's mouth before on the official too. So, you know. I just try not to, you know. Also not paying attention to the things that I'm killing. I'm just killing things because they're here. And I'm doing it as a Blueline Runekeeper, which to me is fairly amusing. It reminds me of on Christmas Day when I was doing my 12-hour marathon. And I was playing DDO, the other side. And what I had done, well, killing that's not going to get me anything, so we're not going to go kill it just for the sake of killing it, is I had a character who had no gear on her. There was a reason for it. And I was having a lot of fun playing it as a challenge in that she had no weapon. Now, she was a casting character, so I let her level up using XP gems, where we get Virtue XP bottles when we do our daily Hobbit presents. They over there get little XP gems, so you can level your character just by those. I mean, early on they're really useful, and those of course scale based on how well you roll. And also sometimes they have like a bonus weekend where, like, we've had VXP bonus weekends where what you get out of the bottles is actually a little bit better than normal. So I had the character level to like 6 or almost 7 or something. And she's now level 8, I think. And it's mainly because I just did a 6 hours worth of questing with her. It was a lot of fun. Though I might consider actually doing challenge characters. Maybe that's one of the other things I'm thinking about involving community with, is maybe scouring, you know, just taking community suggestions, like what kind of character should I play. So let's say we say, kind of like a Pulu Felgar once, because he thought it'd be funny, rolled a melee minstrel, because we were teasing Cord about how he was playing his minstrel wrong, which normally I don't tell somebody you're playing your character wrong. If they're having fun, who cares? As long as it doesn't adversely affect anybody else. If they're just screwing around in a raid, then, you know, yeah, yell at them. But if it's a case where they're just soloing and they're not hurting you or messing with your gameplay, it doesn't really matter what they do. They do that a lot more over on DDO, because there's a lot more flexibility in builds over there. In fact, there's, in my opinion, too much flexibility because you can break your character. You can totally make your character completely unplayable over there. I've done it. It's actually kind of funny. Over here, you don't get to pick the stats of your character. In character generation, you just pick their class, and then as you play through the game, you can get virtues, and you can then fine tune your build that way. All right, so I have got 3 quests to turn in. You are just a deed. So let's go back to Malthanor. Not to be confused with Elsinore, where, of course, Fortinbras came from. Well, no, actually, Elsinore is where Hamlet, Claudius, and that crew lived, I think. So I have like 5 things I want to do after the stream. And I think the one thing I am going to do is I'm just going to go to sleep for a few hours. And hopefully I'll wake up in time for Big Ed Mustafa's show at 10 o'clock. At which point I'll probably fall asleep again to the sound of his dulcet tones. Big Ed's a cool dude. Sometimes. Yay! I done ding! So I'm now level 40. So that's nice. Hi, kitty. Glowin now has a blue quest ring, and it's the bears quest. The bears. So here's one thing is, I didn't have the opportunity to make the joke earlier today when Corey was talking about the word laugh. Laugh meaning bad, like laugh spell, I name you bad news. Which is what Grima called Gandalf. Why am I doing this? I can just take the Stable Master Swift Travel down. So we need to take the relic fragments to Glorenglir. And he was talking about bears, and so a laugh bear is a bad bear. But if laugh spell means bad news or ill news, would a laugh spell bear be a bad news bear? And I'm really sad that Sapiens is AFK because he would freaking love that joke. He is of an age to know what the hell I'm talking about. But I want to see if anybody else in chat can grasp the joke that I just made. That I didn't have a chance to drop it into Corey's chat for one main reason, and that is because I was driving at the time. Because I got off work just... Hi. Is that like Noodly Pot Pie? Or one of her else? I was actually driving home from work. Hi. Hi, kitty. So... Wait a minute. Person is right behind me. It's right behind me! Cross this bridge. Did we fix this bridge? This bridge also had a thing, but apparently it's not there. I guess they took out the invisible thing. Remember how you cross this bridge and at one point, like halfway in the middle, it would bounce you up with stuff? Like, you're going over a small invisible road bump. Speed bump. Oh, kitty. Thief Kitty, I think, is going to be a little bit more obnoxious than usual today, simply because while I've been at work, he hasn't had his daily cuddles. Because yesterday I worked from 5 a.m. to 4 p.m. I put an 11-hour day in. I'm super dying right now. Which is why I really just want to go sleep for 4 hours after the show. But I should eat supper. On the other hand, I had some SpaghettiOs while Corey was streaming, so that's fine. And I did forget, because I'm a forgetful bear. Sapiens subscribed for 8 months at tier 1, less than half an hour ago. Sinners followed about an hour ago. Kill him, of course, did the resub for 6 months, half dozen there. And of course, Too Big followed less than 15 minutes ago. Alright, found relic fragments on the snow lurkers. I know, aren't that cool? Oh, bring them to Deluros, who is in Elrond's library! Yay! And of course, the Misty Mountain speak the glow, and well, yeah, I'll take the quest because it will be XP. So we will do that. Let's go see if Mr. Elrond has something for us. Now, I was actually considering playing my main in Minas Morgul today and basically keep going from where we left off last week. But I also kind of wanted to do some of that stuff off stream because there's really important bits of the story that I really like to focus on without, you know, feeling like I should react to it for the camera. Like, I want to kind of internalize my reactions for a little bit. Plus, the simple fact is, there's a lot of other streamers who are doing Minas Morgul content. In fact, Andang is actually doing a series. You know, he's actually playing through the content as a deliberately scheduled series. So, definitely give Andang _LP a follow. He's also doing a lot of Lotro Point giveaways. And I think one of them released this month's giveaway is something like 25,000 Lotro points. Like, how the hell can you afford that much? But, you know, it happens. So, Elrond still doesn't have anything for me. That puzzles me. Wait. I completely walked right on past the dude I was supposed to go talk to. Durr. Sam Burke rolling in with the 2020 Twitch emote.
What can I do for you? Mind my words, child.
Okay, jagged relic fragments. Yeah,
What
the
do you
misguided apprentice. On this character, I am going to save some of the crafting mats. I am not going to do tasks. Don't anybody tell Big Ed Mustafa that. Because you know, Big Ed, well, to be fair, I'm on Ithel, so he won't ever be on the server. Because he is a completely free-to-play account. And you can't be on the legendaries if you are not VIP. That is a deliberate decision on the part of Standing Stone Games. I can see both good and bad reasons why you'd want it that way. Hang on, I have to answer a question in the Signum Discord. One of the things I do in my spare time is I am the Twitch director for Signum, which is Professor Corey's Twitch channel. And that pretty much amounts, and I also moderate and run his Discord, which pretty much amounts to answering people's questions when they throw them up in the middle of the day when I'm doing something else. Wow. So tired. Yanni. Alright. Let me check and see what else we got. Nothing else in the Discords. People are talking about Stardew Valley over in Stina's Discord. Stardew Valley is fun. So I did mention, not to make folks jealous, and I forgot to mention why I was mentioning it, that there is currently intended, unless I hear otherwise, if you can get to the Boston area the final weekend of February, in fact, February 28th, again, unless there is some announcement to the otherwise, there is an intention to have a there's an intention to have a Lotro/GDO player meetup at PAX East. Probably it'll be at Wagamama, which is the place we've been going to the past few years, which is an Asian-inspired, a modern-style Asian restaurant. Like, they serve ramen and vegetarian stuff and, vegan stuff. So folks like Make Vegan Pants can go. Folks like me can go, because I'm definitely not vegan. I like my meat. And we don't know which, if any, Standing Stone developers will be there, but generally it is hosted by Cordovan. There may or may not be swag. I do know they don't have much left after Agent Brigman's class visited the studio last year. However, spectacle one. I really want to work on the epic, so I think I'm gonna get these out of my quest log. Is what I'm gonna do. Get lots of old stuff out of anything that's already. I'm not gonna do the riddle. I can pick that up later. Find Barakin's camp. There's no reason not to throw that on or to keep that. However, one of the things I generally do when I go to visit Standing Stone is interview the hell out of Severlin. And that is currently on the docket. What day that will be, whether it's like the Thursday or Friday of PAX, or if it'll be the Monday after. The Monday after is kind of what I'm preferring to aim for, because it's a long way to get from downtown Boston out to Standing Stone and back. So I'd pretty much have to cancel or not schedule any other press events that day. Scout the Eastern Gate of Numinous, go to hell. Way of the Kings, go to hell. He's out of my quest log. Murder in the ruins! The Earth Cannon of Lamakoti. Beyond the Ram Duath. Okay, Lamakoti is where the Earthkin are on the outskirts of Angmar, so hang on to that one. That one will be useful. Part of the Adral? Nope. The Burning Island. Investigate Till Ruinin. I mean, I can't even really use these. These are level 25 extracts, so like they don't do any good. You don't get it silver for that? Hell with it. Get rid of it. Get rid of it. The Rangers of Esteldine. So, go talk to Nether. That's, I'm gonna do that. Okay. So, here's the question, kids. I have my books, so I have my class quest to do. find these, and these will drop off of characters in the Misties and whatnot. See? First 4 pages can be found in Angmar, Eregion, and Moria. The last 4 pages can be found in Forachel, Moria, and the Misties. So I'm gonna have to go kill things in those areas, and generally, from my understanding, is they drop off of most of them drop off of like humanoid mobs, like goblins and Easterlings and whatnot. And these are the same. They're Forachel, Moria, and the Misties, and then Angmar, Eregion, and Moria. Moria, spam, spam, spam. Moria, baked beans and spam. And Whispers in the Dark is going to be Moria, of course. Angmar, Eregion, and Moria. So, and then Forachel, Moria, and Misties. So, all of that. But I don't know why. Volume 1, Book 4 won't bestow. I think I'm gonna have to actually play through Book 4. Which I kind of want to do, though, to be fair. I've done Book 1, but I didn't do the prologue. I've done Book 1, I've done Book 2, done Book 3. So I think probably should play through Book 4, which is Where's the Horse and Rider? The Chasing Shadows book. So let's pop that in. Except I can't make my trackers fall. I'm getting a bit loopy, and I know I'm getting loopy. Very loopy. But I only have an hour and a half to go. I think I can make it through an hour and a half without falling off a cliff. We'll find out. So let's go talk to Eladan. We're gonna go chasing some Nazgul. It's like chasing Amy in the... Is that a Kevin Smith movie? Chasing Amy? Like the Clerks and Mallrats and Dogma universe. I forget. But it'll be like chasing Amy except with Nazgul. Speaking of the Nazgul, this was linked in the Mythgard Facebook group, I think. And I did link it into Sapiens' chat last night because it was funny as hell. Actually... No. But we'll get XP. No, we're not gonna do it because I got rid of the Barkens camp quest, didn't I? Yeah, I did. I didn't do the prologue because I'm a dingleberry. So yeah. Trying to keep on target here. Yeah. Pontin Finberry, how are you doing? My friend the Jungle Queen just went live, which is kind of bad because I'm one of her moderators and I should be there for her, but I'm not. Then again, to be fair, I wasn't at her last stream either because I was asleep at that time. Rose Tyler, how are you, my friend? I hope you're doing well. You've been so absent from Lotro lately. I'm sorry to hear that. I hope you've been enjoying your namesake show. Okay, the show that your namesake is taken from, shall we say. No spoilers, though. Oh my god, it was so good. Oh, and speaking of spoilers, I didn't mention this. We won't do Star Wars spoilers or Mandalorian spoilers here in Twitch chat. But I did say at the first of the year, neither of those are under spoiler protection in my Discord, so if you haven't seen them by now, it ain't my fault. But just, you know, just be kind to folks here in Twitch chat. We'll keep that going for maybe a little bit longer. All I will say is I enjoyed both. warts and all, in one of the cases, I thought The Mandalorian was the superior product to the popcorn flick that Rise of Skywalker was. So we're not going to mention it because we don't want to spoil Ponton on the story. Ponton, by the way, is an awesome dude who is the leader of the second breakfast kinship over on Crick Hollow. Wait a minute, what is my skill? Nope. I think I'm a scholar on this character. I honestly forget. I know, I'm too lazy to look it up right now. Also known as, I'm leaning back in my chair, which is maybe a little bit too comfortable, because it does encourage me to want to sleep. You know, I could lean back in my chair, put my feet up, and I'd be gone in about 5 minutes flat. Especially if Thief Kitty, the ever noisy, jumps up and decides to curl up on me, because it's a tater. We're not going to stop for taters. No stopping for taters. But you know, if I find me some freaking indigo plant, I'm going to stop picking. Because you all know me very well, that's what happens. Floaty raspberry. I'm gonna actually pick the raspberry, mainly because I want the thing to despawn. So when hopefully it respawns, it doesn't respawn in midair. So I don't know. Ponton, you've seen this. You've actually, I think, pointed it out to people. I think you and maybe Jesse D were the ones who found it, but there is new landscape stuff up in Evendom. We might run across it. I might go questing up that way. Or as part of our ride up that way, we might happen to pass by it. I don't know yet. Depends on how I run the swift travels and whatnot, because I'm not on a hunter. If I was on a hunter, I would be like, boop, boop, zip, zip, zip. But I'm not on a hunter. Sometimes I forget that, which is really ironic, because I'm actually playing a healer. And a hunter cannot be a healer. Not in this game. Not as such. You can tell from the bars where I have my track item skills. Yeah. You assume I could look that far and can focus. My eyes are really I'm having a problem focusing right now. Hunters are tanks. Yeah, they are when they're played by sapients. Then again, to be fair, let's be fair here. Not to be Faramir, but to be fair here, is when Sapients and I were questing up in Evendom. I always see this and think this is so cool, because that's where, of course, the Fellowship crashed out at one point. To be fair, when we were up in Evendom in Amon Moth, where the giants are, I made a point to start tanking as this very much Blueline Runekeeper, because I could at least heal myself, and at the time I was a bit over leveled compared to him, so they were like red and orange to him, I think, and they were like, I don't think on level, I think they were may have been one level above me or something, I forget. And I'm actually really surprised I haven't run across any indigo yet. Normally, the Trollshaws and Eregion are pretty lousy with indigo. Now, when I say pretty lousy with, it's an older use of the phrase lousy, or the word lousy. It's to mean full of, like,
How can I be of service?
being lousy, as opposed to being terrible at something. Elf Forest, what a name. Reminds me of somebody from the LMB Malphos. Ginger, I am really tired because I've been up since 3:30 in the morning. So over 12 hours, and I only got maybe a total of 4 or 5 hours of sleep yesterday, if I'm lucky. Simply because I stupidly watched Sapient stream. I should have gone to bed. And basically, being on days means my sleep schedule is all kinds of whacked. I am on Ithel, So, I have the kin name Radio Free Gallifrey on all of the servers. I think. Yeah, on all the servers. And I only level on Ithil. This is the character I started playing to level with Sapiens while he was streaming on his character. And he's in my kinship. This character, Aramis, you see his little toe tag, Radio for Gallifrey. He's a level 43 hunter, so I gotta go catch up a little bit. But I want to catch up on the epic as well.
What do you need? Stay a moment.
Ithil is very chill. I also have characters on Honor as well. It's just, obviously I got my character names on Honor first because it was the first one open, but in terms of Honor being the sun and Ithil being the moon, I always prefer Ithil. I have characters named Ithilris and Ithilrin on many servers. In fact, I use that name, Ithilris is the name of my, Lord of the Rings tabletop character that I played for 6 weeks. Well, 5 out of 6 weeks. With, let's see. Find the missing Nazgul. Oh, I know where we're going. That I played over on the Signa Mew channel. We're gonna go through the bear den? Yeah, we're gonna go through the bear den. Why not? They're under my level. They're not gonna attack. They will, but we don't care. See? We don't care. Don't care. Do not care. Nope. Yeah, this is a really good part of the epic. This is where I think they really hit their stride here, because a lot of the previous stuff, the story of Aragorn and Amdir is interesting, because, that at least gets you to feel something for the Dunedain. But this is where they kind of start sinking into the deep lore of the games. Like, ooh, we're chasing a Nazgul? Really? Cool. And if I hit level 42, if I have my tailor, if I can actually get my tailor leveled up, I could start making some gear for myself. My intention was to do all my crafting on Ithil, the same way that on the North American servers, my crafting alts are on Crick-Hollow. Originally, I also did crafters on Landreval, but I had kind of retired them. Except last night, I broke out my Burglarius, and had her craft the 6 stacks of items that you need to become a vegetarian in-game. Since Cordovan refused to eat the things that would generate the title, if any of those things were not properly vegetarian, and a couple of the recipes actually use non-vegetarian items in them. Okay, I can draw upon inspiration here, which means you go here, you hit this, and you get interrupted, so we're gonna kill things first. Hi guys, how you doing? How are you? I do have to say that on my regular Runekeeper character, I think she's yellow line, because while red line is really cool in terms of DPS, yellow line is where it's at. Being able to kill things on the move is the bomb diggity. And I fell in love with red. Oops, I want to go back to where I can draw an inspiration and do that real quick. Important is I learned to love Yellow Line Runekeeper thanks to Quartermaster Yu, a former member of the Lotro team, and also the other member of the Lotro dev team who actually used to stream there on the official. It was Monday afternoons, and I used to tank for him with my Guardian over on Brandywine. we'll hide and knock you upside the head here a little bit. I think I'm okay on JQ's mods because there's somebody else there. Probably Kitty or Soul. Let me see. Because, hey, I've got Chatty. I can look. Yeah, it's Soulbreaker. She's cool. So I can't say hi, but I can at least can't say hi like vocally, but I can at least say hi in Chatty. Oh, hi. What are you got for me? Well, I don't think you. You're level what? 35? I don't think these guys will actually help the find the pages deeds, but saying hi does make... I like to at least say hi, and I always kind of feel bad if somebody that I like to, that I'm a moderator for, that I'm not able to moderate for them because I'm doing something else. Also, my friend Omid is probably... he might start his stream on his channel in about 20 minutes. He was supposed to stream last week, but he didn't, and I don't know why. You know, it's Omid. Sometimes stuff happens. And he runs a company called the OPG Group, and what they do is they manage really high-end streamers. Like, their first client was Co-Carnage, who is, by the way, if you ever want to see the truth told about streamers, oh hello, we've got a named rare elite, yeah, Vitar Grimcrow, Blattair. I'm gonna kill her first and then kill Troll because, you know, we're here for the rare. One of the things that I've seen in terms of discourse on streaming, like, people say that if you're a large streamer with thousands and thousands of people in your chat, there's no way you can keep an eye on that. Pretty much true, that's why you've got mods. And there's no way that that community could ever be positive and be, you know, not a bunch of rampaging jerks. And Co fosters a positive community just by being Co and by, you know, hello you. You know what we're gonna do, right? We're gonna do this. I'm gonna YOLO that guy, but after I complete this quest. Or one of these guys. I'm gonna YOLO one of the Corgor, Corgi. It's a Corgi! Man. Yeah, Purple Mob's Monka S. We're using Twitch chat here. We're using Twitch terms. We're actually pronouncing Twitch emotes. So I think Monka S is actually one of the better BTTV emotes. I don't actually see the emote, I just see the text Monka S. Alright. And we're gonna do 2 Cargill for the price of 1! This is gonna be great! It's gonna be awesome. I'm still gonna die. It's gonna do great. However, what I do have also is, this is gonna end badly. This is gonna end super badly. Got that. Got this. Also not doing my thingamajigger. And reverse. This is not going well at all. Yeah, we're gonna die. But we're gonna run. We're gonna run because when I die, I'm going to get the debuff that won't let me use inspiration again. Except, I just need to go back to Eladin. So, guess what? We're gonna retreat! Corgis. Corgis are awesome. One of my favorite corgi. I've never actually met the pup herself. Her name is Ripley. She belongs to my friend Jordan, who works at Blizz. Jordan is the creator of Pepe, not the frog, but Pepe the orange burb that got put into a tree in Warlords of Draenor. Wait a minute, what was that deed? The road to Rivendell, find Baratheon's camp. Anyway, where are we? We're close to the guy's camp. So guess what? We're going to the dude's camp anyway. Yeah, level 40 versus 2 levels. But I had inspiration on me, so... So I should have had at least a little bit of a chance, but I ain't too worried about it. It was a YOLO for the funsies. We did it for the lulz. Alright, Baratheon's camp is... Yep, there's the white stone. Still, oh yeah, it's great content. Love it. I really like this game a lot, as if you couldn't tell this already. So, here's another thing. I haven't, there we go, we got the deed completed. We've done the deed. I got Candle's North Troll Shaws. We don't need to go to this. Oh man, I could defeat 6 more Corker and finish that quest, but I'm not worried about it. Not worried about it at all. We're gonna go talk to Eladin, though. Now, it's kind of sad that you can't do a swift travel to Thorin. Yes, you can. Never mind. I'm just talking out the side of my face now. I don't know. I'm actually kind of looking forward to Rohan on the Legendaries, because I haven't played the Rohan content much of late, except when I was grinding class trait points that I had missed in Rohan, because they were gated behind the Broadacres and Stone Deans and the Edoras storyline. So, and they were really good stories, the Emptying of Edoras. I keep looking at my phone here and I want to put it together. I also got a screen protector, and I got a little case for it, and guess what color the case is, kids? Can you guess what color it might actually be? It might be blue. When is Rohan releasing on the Legendary service? Cordovan announced earlier today that they're aiming for mid-February. So that's the news that we just got earlier today. So TARDIS blue case, of course it was gonna be TARDIS blue. Here's the case on my current phone. So everything's blue. Everything's blue. Am I blue? Let's put that back in. Alright, caught between the remainder of Frodo's company and the raging of the Bruin. Because remember, we're dealing with... This is the aftermath of the Nazgul trying to take the ring from Frodo at the ford. Or at least trying to capture Frodo. Oh, let's see what we've got here. We've got a level 31 set of leggings. Gonna replace it with a level 38 and much higher armor. Much increased will, increased in combat morale regen. So that sounds pretty good. The other two things I can't even use on this character, so this is an upgrade. We'll take it. Ding.
Stay a moment.
Talk to Glorfindel. I will be happy to talk to pretty boy Glorfindel. We put the pants on first, though. I also apparently got a Longsword of Ruin. That's a nice name. Longsword itself, not too much to write home about. I'm getting to the point in my wardrobe on Ithil, and Honor, in a case, where I have to start being selective about what I put in there, and in fact I should probably clean house at some point. You better grind your butt off if you want to see Rohan go live on Honor. Yeah. Wayward, what's your character level on Honor?
What do you need?
I think I stopped bothering with Honor in terms of leveling, so my character's still at level 60 there. We're going to go to Rivendell to go talk to Mr. Glorfindel. Maybe 30? Yeah, you got a ways to go, but you've got a month to do it, so... Approximately a month. He said targeting mid-February, because of course, game development is like my previous company and how things happened at my previous company. I used to work for Time Warner Cable. The office in-joke was that the acronym didn't stand for Time Warner Cable, stand for Things Will Change. And keeping that in mind and in your heart made it a lot easier to deal with all the damn changes that came about as new technology was created and, you know, policies changed and whatever. How many costume spaces can we get, Max? I mean, actual cosmetic outfit slots? It looks like 8, including your 8 plus your equipment. If there are more, I'm unaware of it because I don't buy them. The only outfit slots I have are because I think there was one included with some particular sale or something. But I don't think they allow for more. Kind of like there is a maximum number of bank slots you can buy or inventory slots you can buy. You met in the inventory bank. This is maxed out. Now, some of these you can only unlock if you're a VIP, and of course I'm a lifer, so of course I have it. So Ponton has all 8A. So if I open my inventory and I click on the gear, I have all 6 boxes. I forget how many slots they have, so... apparently can't spell. So each one of these bags is 15 slots. 15 slots. You can do that, did you? Shared costuming spots. Well, let's go take a look at the banker. What I do know is I don't have the maximum yet. Oh, speaking of shared stuff, there was some discussion about transfers on Court of the Rings earlier today. There has been no timeline given as to when transfers are coming back for real. Part of the transfer to Bull Roar thing that went on the past day or so is I think they're testing some of the tech for it. But Cordovan cheerfully and pointedly did not answer my question that I cheerfully and pointedly dropped in chat saying, are we getting shared storage transfers back? Because I got you, fam. I want them back myself. So I pointedly asked that question so that people would know that it's still being asked. Not articulating well, Stormblom? I think I'm the one who's not articulating well. Come on. I have shared storage is my currently have it up to 250. And it's full of crap, as you can see. I need to clean this out. What I really want to do, though, is get all these crafting mats. Whew. Well, actually, this is Ithel, so this is the destination for all the crafting crap. What I really need to do is sit down and actually start grinding stuff with my crafters on this server. Alright, see if I can get any of this stuff in here. So far... Oh, well, I lied. So far, it no longer counts. Bunch of raspberries. I don't care about raspberries. Raspberries. Level 36 ring with 34 max power. I don't really need power. The will and parry. The will is really what I need here. So metals, gemstones. Okay, I did have space for that, which is nice. Wood. Even though it says wood, I also put like leathers in there. So okay. So we went inside, and I didn't even really need to do that because I need to go outside and talk to Glorfindel. Oh my god, I am getting super sleepy. I think it's because I'm sitting slouching a little bit in my chair. But, you know. Chicken, Havarti, iceberg, mayo, raspberry jam, and squishy ripe bread. Wayward, you're killing me! You are killing me! Because, so normal I'm just asking, my question is, did you bring enough for the whole class? Is it me, or is there even more foliage up here by Glorfindel? Alright, are you gonna give me your thing, or we're gonna go ride all the freaking way back to the last bridge or something?
What can I do for you?
Use Glorfindel's barrel at the Fort of Bruinen. Okay. And we're not gonna do Glorfindel's company. I don't think I've done that on any quest or on any character. If food transporters were a thing, you'd feed us all. You know, I once, when I was in college 30 years ago, even before I met you, Wayward, this was before I even met you, I made the wise crack about FTP standing for Food Transfer Protocol. True story. So far today, though, I did have some potatoes. I also had some SpaghettiOs with meatballs. I had a big old thing of coffee, and I'm starting to feel like I don't like coffee. I mean, things that are bitter, I prefer tea to coffee. And I'm not saying that because my manager's manager is an English guy from Liverpool who lives here in America and is supervising our team. I like to refer to him behind his back as the grumpy British guy. The grumpy British dude at work. But he gave me a packet of Yorkshire tea today, and then he asked me, why have you drunk your tea? I'm like, because I already had a drink, so I'll take this home and actually put good milk in it and stuff. And he seemed satisfied that I, was actually going to treat his tea with respect. And he's like, how do you know how to drink tea? I'm like, I used to live in the UK, did study abroad over there. So, what I just did is that horse behind the stable master in Rivendell bounces you out here. It's very handy. For at least half of the quest anyway. Then you have to ride all the damn way back. Still no indigo plant. Trollshaws, I am disappointing you. I am super disappointing you. You're debating opening a can of soup. Well, I have shrimp, and they are currently thawing a little bit in the fridge. I don't think they were 100% frozen anyway, so... I mean, they were chilled. They're not going to go bad or anything, but, So the main question is, do I have... do I have the wakefulness to be able to cook supper, eat it, and then take a nap? Or should I just nap first and then eat later? Let's use the barrel. Oh my god. It glows with a pale light. There are orcs present. Let's go back to Glorfindel. Do I know the difference between a few and no, I don't. I am not in any way, shape, or form knowledgeable about tea. Kevin M with the 8-month Subaruni. Next month, you and I are having a Twitch baby, aren't we? That's how that works, isn't it? My oldest Twitch subscription is actually my friend Umid's channel. And, actually something followed me. Yes, I can't stop. Whoa, hello. Let's run off the cliff. No. either my subscription is 68 months old or it's 69, dude. So, and Omid does like to make the occasional off-color joke of that nature. So we're gonna play to the regional crowd, to quote Pollen Storm. Amarnio, welcome! Thank you for hanging out here in Gondor has no druids. Gondor also is very tired and is sitting up because if I lean back in my chair again, I will fall asleep on you, and that would be most embarrassing. And against Twitch rules, you're not allowed to sleep on Twitch, which is actually not entirely true. Somebody can be in the background of your channel sleeping as long as the person at the controls is actually awake. For example, Towley, the WoW streamer, who is, by the way, a really awesome dude. Him and his lady love, Fail Lula, she has a stream where she streams a lot of cooking stuff. You should follow her, she's cool. She was actually streaming, I think, playing WoW Classic, and she had a camera aimed at Towley, and it was basically, he was stretched out on a mattress in the room behind her. But because she was the streamer on duty, it was okay. I think the odd rule is because, well, I have a theory, but I don't want to say it's to avoid people being fetishists, because we all know that's not the case, because there's a lot of people who do things for their personal fetishes on Twitch. It's very bizarre. Okay, so tea is actual tea. Tisanes are things we soak in water to make drinks that are not in fact tea. Well, I learned back in the 80s that tea was a noxious infusion of oriental leaves containing a high percentage of toxic acid. And that is the wisdom of the Fifth Doctor as played by Peter Davison. It's from an episode during his era as the Doctor, where he had, he basically started the Great Fire of, no, actually, was it the Great Fire, 1666? It was during the English Civil War. Yicky, we said nice things about you earlier. Yicky, does a lot of charity streaming, so we call him Yicky of the charity streams. Awesome, awesome dude. Who was the spotter? Who was the spooter? Oh, okay, let's go talk to Lord. Yeah, there are nice... Well, that's what I heard. I don't know. Sapiens could have told lies about you again. Because we all know, as a community manager, their job is to lie to you about things. Like, yeah, we're not going to fix that. Yes, we're going to fix that sometime in the not-so-distant future. We're going to be on the satellite of love. Wait, what? Now I'm quoting MST3K, which is very strange because I've never even seen MST3K. But it's really strange because a friend of mine was doing the puppeteering for Crow T Robot for a while on the tour. Sagareth, welcome. Malin is still here. Can't stay long, have to get some work done. You want to pop in and say hi? Well, appreciate you being here for a few minutes. Sandberg dropping the soon TM Twitch emote, which you can get if you subscribe to Sapiens' channel. In fact, I made that soon emote, so if you hate it, that's my fault. If you like it, it's my fault. Alright. Glorfindel, buddy. Hey, what you doing?
What can I do for you?
Alright, I have returned. Actually, if Omid was streaming, Omid would be streaming right now, because his show starts right now. Aww. Alright, the barrel began to glow. Okay, we're gonna follow the missing rider. We're gonna go to Eladin again. Oh my god, stop making me right back and forth. So I kind of want to stop driving to work every day because it's winter. Though, to be fair, on a complete... tomorrow it's supposed to get up to 71 degrees, so that's not exactly winter. On the other hand, driving into work today was difficult because I don't mind necessarily driving in the dark if I know the road I'm on pretty well. And my path... There's Omid's stream going live. I am definitely going to go to Omid's show once I'm done. So Omid is actually on his channel for a change today, which is not normal. Normally his channel, he's there in chat, but his employees at OP Group generally stream on his channel now because he's a Twitch partner. And they never bothered getting a company channel. Because he and his wife hadn't founded the company at that point. So we're gonna go back to Thornhod. You notice the Soon emote kind of looked like my emote, same style. Well, that's because I made it. So, yeah. Actually, I also made the Twitch emotes that are on Cordovan's personal channel. He hasn't changed those out yet. And they consist of the words cool cool. Because that's apparently one of his phrases that he likes to say occasionally.
Will you lend me your ear?
Oh yeah, this one! Oh my god. However, normally, well actually the earring isn't good for me. Even in terms of stats, because I have my two, my Mordor and my Minas Morgul earrings, and they are statting up better than that one, so that's good. So in this particular case, when I complete this quest, I'm going to pick the shield because it'll give me the most amount of gold. Speaking of getting gold, let's go over here and sell things to this lady.
How may I be of service to you?
Remember, we didn't like the longsword of... I'm going to keep the signets of Rudour. Always keep your rep tokens. Look at that. Look at that. It's nice. Oh, by the way, y'all remember? You can now toggle these. Check this. Check this. This is actually kind of cool. So, you see this. You go to your cosmetic outfits. Right, you can't make your equipment outfit do weird things, but you can toggle. That's not what I'm looking for. Don't I have a satchel? Apparently I don't have a satchel equipped because I'm an idiot. You're supposed to, or maybe that was just a Bold Roar only thing so far. Yeah, it might be just, they might have, because that was one thing that was a little bit confusing to me yesterday. It's like, I was reading the Bull Roar notes, and then it's like, there's the patch notes, and I kind of got myself confused, like, a lot of these are the same thing. What's going on here? How long have I been playing? I have been playing since day one open beta, so I am heading on my 14th year. The right side bottom slot. This one. Okay, so we're going to go to the cosmetic tab where this isn't. I have a level 15. I need to get a better one of those, that's for sure. It looks like a Celtic knot. Well, then apparently I don't have anything equipped there. So we're gonna go over here and we're gonna go annoy the trolls. Bearing in mind, I'm gonna do this as a Blueline runekeeper because it's funnier that way. So it's kind of cool to give yourself a personal challenge like that. So I think what we're going to do in terms of community events, I might want to base them on Landreval because that's where I have most of my role-playing. Also, that's where I think a lot of people are. Because I've always tried to keep the version of Radio Free Gallifrey that's on Crick Hollow to itself. And let the one on Landreval be the one that everybody from the stream could join. But I haven't decided what I'm going to do with that. Because mostly the folks on Crick Hollow, the kinship there are mainly friends that I know from almost as old as I've known, well, just about as long as I've known Wayward, in fact. Let me see. I see a moderator note in the Jungle Queen's channel. And looks like he's already been timed out by the other mod at some point in the past. Actually, it might have been 15 minutes ago. Alright. Not needing to do anything immediately. Alright, let's take a look at things. So, Celtic Knot, right here. That one. Hey! Thank you, Cyrus. Appreciate you. Yeah, see? Yeah. So, I really don't care if it's there or not. At least that'll help me remember that I've got, that I'm playing a Runekeeper. And to be fair, Sagarth, you weren't here for all the fun stuff earlier. I am on our 14 of wakefulness after being asleep for maybe an hour and a half after Rick's stream last night. And that was after maybe a 5-hour nap earlier in the afternoon, so I'm exhausted. I pulled an 11-hour shift at work yesterday. I was supposed to have an 8-hour shift, except my supervisor dumped 3 hours of work on us, on me and the other guy dipped. He was like, no, I gotta go home. Am I doing a charity thing? No, I was working. I was actually getting paid. And my boss was like, well, hey, it's overtime, you get paid for it. I'm like, I don't care, I want to sleep. So I asked them yesterday, hey, Jerry, my boss's name is Jerry, not Cordovan Jerry, but another guy named Jerry, which is now very extremely strange. So my boss, I asked him yesterday, can I work from home from now on? Because I'm pretty self-sufficient at my job right now. In fact, out of the three of us, he's a workaholic. But there's me and two other people on the team. Here's the problem. One of the three on our team has been missing in action. I don't know where the hell he's been. And the other guy joined the second day. Or was it Wednesday? I'm losing track of my days. I think he joined us on Tuesday, the second day. And I'm not sure how this kind of happened, but I've been kind of being the leader of us underlings. Being the one who's tracking down information, pestering Jerry about stuff, and then, you know, making sure the other guy knew what the hell was going on. So we're all on the same page. So it's been very bizarre to suddenly be an unexpected leader. So I'm the one that's like, oh hey, we need to write a procedure to cover. We need to write documentation for this procedure that we're doing, and I'm the one who winds up writing it because apparently I know how to edit things. You gotta go. You gotta go. You gotta go. Just don't go in the middle of the carpet, you know. I'm gonna get super lost in here. I don't know. I remember the other two. I always get lost finding the other two tunnels. So we're gonna have a lot of Benny Hill music playing here in a minute, because we're gonna go find the other two tunnels, and I'm not gonna remember where they are. So we're gonna have fun with that. I don't think we need to go here. I'm really getting tired. So I'm holding in here as best I can. So I think I'm not feeling too hungry right now. So I think after this show, I'm definitely gonna definitely just gonna go to take a nap. We're gonna take a nap. And that's literally gonna be once I shut the stream down and set the VOD to cooking. And I'm gonna lean back, put the feet up, and Thief Kitty will jump up on me and curl up, and he'll sleep too. So that's what he does. That's one of the reasons why he likes to climb up on me, because he's hoping I'm gonna go get, fall asleep so he can curl up on me and be all warm. Because Thief Kitty likes to be full of warm. Okay, barrel didn't work. Oh no. Let me get out of here real quick, and then we'll go see if there's any news on the forums. That's one thing I like to do with my show, is to try to be, I don't want to say influence, I hate the term influencer, but try to be informative, and just to give people a heads up as to the news of the day. If something came up and they missed Court of the Rings, and they'd want to, watch this show, and then, they might watch Court of the Rings later, but, they can just tell them, here's what he said. Influence. Wield your influence for... You mean weird? Wield my influence for evil. Well, Rick, when I'm being evil, I change my name to Dark Phoenix. And I am evil. I'm gonna just run. I'm just gonna run out, because there's the door. Alright. So, let's go check the forums real quick. Also, I've been checking the forums on the other game because I was waiting for the Chronicle to get posted. Cordovan is being a bit of a slacker in that regard. Where's the Chronicle? I want to read the article, which is, the other game's thing. It's their version of the Beacon, which actually has been out. The Chronicle has been going on longer than the Beacon, because they are both made by Cordovan. So, let us go see what is going on here. He did post in the event schedule page. The event schedule for the entire year, more or less. He did say about half an hour ago. Or that was an hour and a half ago, because forum times are weird. People are asking, what about festival encores? And he said, we're open to encores and would expect some of the festivals to get them in 2020. They will be scheduled closer to their release. Okay. He also said on the show, this was interesting, and Rick, this is something don't feel obligated to, but I'd be honestly a little bit curious to hear your thoughts on the matter. Being the former Lojo community manager. By the way, all of you in chat, Sapiens there is, yes, the Sapiens from old school Lojo forum. Biggest troll of them all, biggest kid of them all, Lego builder, all around weirdo, still owes me a date with chicken and waffles, and hopefully his wife won't murder us. That's fine. Anita's cool, actually. How she puts up with him, I have no idea. However, the insight I'm idly curious about, Jerry said on his show, and generally I don't put you on the spot like this because I know better, but I'm really curious. Jerry said earlier they are considering the notion of somehow combining Farmer's Fair and Harvest Math, and somehow, I don't know, Wonder Twin powers activate and make them into one event. I'm not sure how they would do that or how they would develop it, but they're considering doing that. I'm guessing to help alleviate some of the event congestion, because there's a lot of events in that schedule, and having so many multiple concurring events, it's kind of like having multiple charity events going on at the same time. Eventually people get charity fatigue, and they can't donate or participate because they're just so worn out from it, which is why Yiki's ability to raise money like a mofo, I think especially for like the Wounded Warrior Project, is like I'm mad props, man. I don't know how you get the energy to do that. So game's gonna lag for a second. We're gonna get this stable master, which back in the day this stable master didn't exist, so we're gonna go down this way and go up the hill and go in there. Wait a minute. Let me find a safe place where I'm not getting murdered here. Okay, we got a ways to go over this way. Get off the tree. Get off the tree. Yes, I'm actually ignoring all of the mobs because I don't want to fight everything. Vile corpse rat. Oh, it's a camp of trolls, so that's gonna go very badly because they're elites. Shinola, let's just hop down here. We're gonna go around this way. Let's go race around these guys too. Why? Because there's more of them. I'm still a little bit surprised I haven't seen Indigo yet. I'd say knock on wood, except I've got a plastic table, so it doesn't quite work. It doesn't work at all. And that is not a path to where I'm wanting to go. Oh, it was a yellow tag, and for a second there, I had hopes it said Indigo, but alas, my hopes were dashed. Ouch. Around this way. And yeah, I'm ignoring the quest rings because I really don't want to do the, all the Slayer deeds. Oh, hey, look who we found! It's the Stone Troll Glade. And we are forgetting which direction we're going. And this is one of the cool things about the attention to detail. Is we go up this hill. Where the hell is it? Somewhere up this little hill. Over here? Over here in the corner? Oh, man. Somewhere up in this hill. There is actually the door. It might be further up the hill. To their cave. Oh, there it is. This is the cave where they buried the treasure that Bill eventually came back and retrieved some. And hey, look, there's another troll. All these trolls. All the chills, so we're now in the correct. Well, hello, hi. These, of course, are elites. Inspired. So the cool thing is I'm still under the effects of inspiration, So as soon as I go into the other cave where the inspiration takes effect, it'll kick in. Which is around this corner. However, it might fade while I'm still fighting the elite trolls inside the cave. So that'll be fun. Alright, this is the spider cave, or the way to the cave is covered with spiders and flies that try to kill you. This one is, for me, has always been the harder one to find because you have to go curl around and, you know, go all the way south and then curl on by the stone trolls and then curl up to the north and go from there. So let's go look at Twitch chat while I've been chatting. You have the legacy of having been present on every take the Hobbit to Isengard. Yes, that is true. Well, I would definitely say, well, Rick, you'll probably, if you wanted to make comment, you just do it back channel. But the rest of us who don't have a proper back channel, I think if I try to, it won't let me. Yeah, because I've got the exhaustion effect on me. So it wore off. So we're gonna do this the hard way, kids. We're gonna do this as Blueline, and we're just gonna kill them the hard way. We'll show you how awesome Blueline arcaves are. But Sapiens would lobby against combining them. Yeah. Yeah, I miss the days we could do like scripted GM stuff, because that would be so much fun. Like the time that Arbor built the stairway to the Barrow Downs out of picnic tables that one time when you guys were testing the oh damn it, we're testing the mega server, I'm sorry, the increased server capacity. That was fun. I still have that video archived here on Twitch. Dragon Rider, I have been on a mild crusade to get them to put the Steed of Mickle Delving account wide available in the store, because all the other racial steeds can be bought account wide for like $29.95 mithril coins. I'm sorry, motor points or whatever. And the Mickle Delving one is the only one that can't be, and they've never told us why. I'm sure there's a reason for it, but they haven't said why. And I can't imagine that it's an exclusive thing, because if it was an exclusive thing, they wouldn't have it available for individual purchase. Like, we can't put this on the store because it was tied to this event, and legally we're not allowed to do that. Which is why we've got this, you know, this knockoff Isengard gear, because they can't do the original sets that were like green, white, and red because they were tied to a limited time event. And that's actually why the Discovering the Descendant thing is only available to folks who had already purchased that particular, had qualified for it originally. So apparently that quest is supposed to be coming available here on the Legendaries. It was supposed to go live with the patch yesterday, but it didn't for some reason. Something broke. You got your Mickle Delving Steed from the Bounder's Bounty, Ponton? Yeah, the thing is, you can buy one in the store. You can buy one, but it's for a single character. They don't have an option to buy it account-wide. Like, you can the Steed of Rivendell. Oh, crap. I'm still gonna die. But I clicked on the wrong dude. I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. PK bubbled myself. Oh, look at that. Clutch heal. Clutch heal. Thief Kitty is howling at me. It's not the Madam House rep steed? No. That is a specific rep. The Steed of Mickle Delving is a special steed. Now, all four of the steeds that I'm referring to are purchasable on the store. But you can't see them on my account because I have the Bree, Thorin, and Rivendell ones account wide. Thank you, Leo. Complaining to the marketing PR guy does wonders when you're pressed. I just complained about it. He's like, oh, we'll have these things. I'm like, okay, thank you. What am I supposed to say? No, because they were already on my account. It's like, can you take these off my account? I'm not supposed to have them. Yeah, whatever. Fashion title from a GM. Yeah, that's a GM thing. There's my character, who was originally named Phoenix over on Langeval when I stole the name on Langeval. There's a story about that. When that all happened is I wound up breaking my kin name, Radio Free Gallifrey, on both Langeval and Cricullo. And Caregoth was the GM who helped me fix all of that happiness. But his kin name was Chicken Mancer. And before he left, he gave me a little item that you can click on that would spawn a chicken. Not a pet. It wasn't an actual pet. It was simply an item that spawned a chicken. PP. Yes. So you couldn't rename it, you couldn't control it, you can't even dismiss it. You have to log out and it will despawn. That's why I've never deleted that character. And now she is, when High Elves came into the game, I took the name Phoenix and put it on Landy and put it on a High Elf instead. And renamed that character to Star Phoenix. And she's now my Lonely Mountain Band kin alt. Though I'm still toying with the idea of switching their names back, because the Star Phoenix character bit is the one that I founded the Radio Free Gallifrey kinship with. So when I took her out of Radio Free Gallifrey to put her in Lonely Mountain Band, she lost her founder title. Let's see. Get bummed out. Honestly, Sam, I think there's only like 2 or 3 GMs these days. And the only reason I think that is because I only ever see people talking about Ares and Dracula. When they post about, hey, I talked to a GM to do XYZ. Plus the fact that there's only 3 names listed in GM and customer service. So like there's the GM or the customer service manager, and there's like 3 other names implying that there's only 3 GMs. But that's in the game credits, so that's not a secret. That's not breaking any NDA. Y'all can open up the game and go to the credits and look for it yourself. So that's probably why it took me like a month and a half to get my Guardians Ballard ally fixed. Playing GM tag with Dracula. Alright, let's just run all the way out. Oh, it's right there. A player made a thread of all the titles you can no longer get in the events it came from, and many were nice titles. Sadly, that would not be surprising. Now, here's the thing about exclusivity. Is I like the notion of exclusivity in some mild respect, that if something is promoted as exclusive, it should remain so. I do also see the opposing argument that I wasn't here for that event. There's no way I can get this thing. I would really like this thing. Like the Discovering the Descendant questline. It's like you can't get it unless you'd bought the legendary edition of Rohan when it was available. Or whatever the criteria was. You could only buy it by doing X, Y, Z. And if you weren't there, then too damn bad. Okay, the other one I want is to the south, and that is not to the south. I mean, they still have the ability to grant the quest. And the only reason I say that is because on one of my characters... Oops, trolls. I accidentally threw away the quest item that starts the quest for you. Like the piece of mail. I don't know why I threw it away, and I don't know why I'm going here, because I need to go down and up the hill. I'm gonna die. Keep running around like this. Oh, that's not a good place to be. Excuse me. Well, hi. Excuse me. Excuse me. I'm just gonna go there. Thank you. So I put in a ticket and said, hey, I threw away the thing and now I can't do my quest. And they created the thing, and that was just like a couple years ago. So they can, hey, Estelle Ali with the 2-person raid. It's a duo raid. Content, I think I would agree with you that they should limit exclusive only to cosmetics and titles and not content that is a quest. And the Descendant thing is fun. It doesn't really add too much. I mean, it's not epic content. It's just something cool. It's horseplay, basically. I can also see how people would use it for evil. Hello. But the sad reality is that they have to honor the legalities of the situation. It sucks. I mean, there's some things that they can do to get around some of the things, like this blue outfit I'm wearing is the blue recolor, the blue redesign. It gets you the spirit of those exclusive items. And the thing is, this blue outfit, you can't get it anymore. I don't think they attached the exclusivity to this, where if you logged in the month of September last year, you got this, because it was I'm wearing the Dispeller of Isengard title, which is what you get when you get a character to level 75 in the legendary. And so this is the Isengard Dispeller gear. So it's all tied to this but they never... I don't honestly recall if they said that this was never going to be available to be offered again. They might have said, just for right now. I don't recall. I'm going to leave that to a Daybreak lawyer to decide what they're going to do with that. Not my job, not my circus, not my monkeys. And now we're going to go kick some ass. So, of course, when this came in... Can I get my inspiration here, kids? Come on. Aww. We've got the inspired, but I guess... Oh, wait, this is the one that doesn't actually start inspiring and buffing you until you get, like... There we go. That's what I was looking for. So I can see both arguments. I mean, I'm not one of those people who are so adamant, like, oh my god, somebody who comes after me shouldn't be allowed to get this exclusive because I paid blah, 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 whatever. It's kind of like in World of Warcraft. I did the original Winter Spring Frostsaber grind from hell that literally made Hitbolt look like a cakewalk. And when they nerfed that to the ground because Horde bias, the Horde equivalent of that, it's Alliance only quest to get you a frosty blue kitty, blue stripy cat mount. Oh, hi. The Horde version, offering a Raptor mount, was like a fifth of the time investment and the difficulty, etc., etc. So literally, the Horde had an easy mode. They eventually put the two mount grinds into alignment, or better in alignment. So it wasn't like, oh my god, the Alliance got shafted yet again. Because the Alliance does get shafted online. Well, poor bias. I didn't really need to put that down. I just wanted to practice the skill. I'm just hitting the buttons on my keyboard right now. I'm getting super loopy. I'm loopy. I'm a loopy. I'm gonna fry your brains. Zorch. I do like me some, he hit me in the face. Rude. Rude. Alright, where's the guy? This isn't it. You always gotta look for the ancient. It's next to the ancient. Did I just, like, run in a freaking circle? I did, because I'm a ding-a-ling. Alright. Running up against the wall. Because that's the way out. We don't want to go that way. We want to go back in here. So let's try this again. Let's go down here. We went the wrong way. Okay, we're gonna go this way. Thiefy? My thief kitty is making random meowing sounds. I think it's because he wants to play with Mama Cat and the kittens in their room. But, by play with them, he wants to fight them, so. I'm still not having much luck in getting my cats to be more cohesive. He wants to be the alpha cat, and he does like to terrorize Mama Cat and the kittens. And by Mama Cat and the kittens, Mama is now 2 years. Like, her kittens, I rescued them in June of not last year, but the year before last, so they're about a year and a half old. So, and she was, you know, a new, clearly a cat who had her first litter as soon as she could because she escaped from the house. But there hasn't been a lot of getting them to be coexistful. Coexistful is a word I just invented and it sounds so awesome. Alright, now we got the hurler, and then we've got a mangler. Okay, that's what we're looking for. Right. I wonder if it would be possible. I mean, it would always be possible, versus impossible, but whether they would do it, I honestly... Here's the thing, is if they were going to, now would be the time to do it, right? Because this is the time they're redoing the Rohan content for Legendary. This would be the best time for them to get off their butts and do it. We don't know. I'm actually curious to see what they're going to do on Bull Roar next week. Because Cord did seem to hint that there was a thing going on, and I missed my turn. Excuse me guys. I'm going out this way. So, I'm really super curious. Though, Ponton, I don't know if you caught that part of his show, that he cheerfully refused to answer questions about Wildwood. So, you know some shiz is going down. We know something's going to happen there. So, I mean, because there's no reason not to say there's nothing, we're not, damn it, rude. I mean, if they were just, you know, touching up the landscape for a second, they'd say, oh, Scenario just put some stuff down and wouldn't, you know, you wouldn't need to be all mysterious and teasy about it. So, I believe that they're going to put something there. But the fact that the mobs up there are level 50 makes me wonder what they're gonna put up there. Maybe it'd be a concept like them adding Keep on the Borderlands to DDO, which is where they basically plopped down a new leveling starting area as an alternative to the tried and true Korthos Highland. I don't know. I mean, that's a theory. It could be, it could not be. We don't know. It'll be interesting to find out. But definitely, if you haven't downloaded Bull Roar yet, you should go do that at some point. And the instructions are on the forums. I believe I may very well have an exclamation point Bull Roar Twitch command, which I'm too lazy to go hit for you. And plus the fact that I'm really starting to space out. I'm not even sure I can spell Bull Roar right now. You saw that? Kill. We should actually talk Professor Corey into going up that way. Because he has actually revisited, we got him to revisit Archit and the revamped lumber camp in Coombe after Scenario had his way with those areas, and it was really nice. Okay, we're going to Eladin. So I had to actually go look at the quest text and kind of force my eyes to focus on it. So, yeah. 15 minutes, and now I'm going to stick a fork in me. I'll be done. A lot of times I don't mind running over my time because I'm not done with what I'm doing. But right now I kind of just want to sleep right this second. But I'm going to hold out for my 15 minutes. I can handle 15 minutes. And Rick, you missed it. I think you missed it earlier when I went to go find the Nazgul's horse, and I was, running in. I had inspiration on. I was going through the Easterling dudes. I'm sorry, the Angmarim, and the trolls. And there was a named elite Angmarim lady there, and I killed her. But to be fair, I was under inspiration, so it's not the same as you killing that rare that I had you YOLO on last night. And I did say nice things about you. Honest to goodness. If you don't believe me, go watch the VOD of how I was almost impressed, but to be honest, you were playing a hunter, so I would have been embarrassed for you if you died to that guy. To that cat. One thing I'm probably going to do, I am off the next 2 days. I am going to try to stream both on Saturday and Sunday. I will not be streaming Locho most likely. No. My goal is to probably work on some artwork and maybe stream another game. Remember, we were going to take the shield because I get more money.
Stay a moment.
Talk to Barachen. Okay, let's talk to the vendor first.
May I help you?
I want to sell. I missed the sell button. Alright, save. Save the crafting mats. Unlike Sapiens, I save the crafting mats because you never know when you can use them. Except farming and crafting mats. There's no reason to keep any of those except the things that you crit with. Those things. Alright. Sell everything else. Give me your money. Borderlands always reminds me of The House on the Borderland, written in 1908 by William Hope Hodgson. Okay.
What do you need?
So let me go take a moment to see if there's somebody that I might like to raid. See, part of sending raids is if I'm doing my official show, I feel I should raid you to somebody who's playing Lotro. However, I don't feel comfortable sending you to somebody who's playing Lotro if I don't know who they are. Right now, there's one guy who is streaming in French, and there's another guy who's apparently streaming in, I want to say Spanish. You could definitely go check them out later. So in the meantime, let's go talk to Bachen. Book 4, Chapter
What can I
6.
do for you?
Find the Onod! Now, okay. Since we were talking about also my friend Omid, Omid used to have his own personal emote in Landmark called the O-Nod, where if you do /O-Nod, your character nods like Omid. And this started for a time that he was on the SOE live stream in his capacity as the director of community at the time. He worked with Linda. Rick, you of course know our dear and good friend Linda Carlson. The Lotro community knows and doesn't realize that they know Linda very well. At least those of us who remember her old school maps from Shadows of Angmar and early Amoria content and Lorien content. Brass the Dwarf. But at one point, there was a stream where somebody made a gif out of him smiling, looking to the camera, and going... Just having that, and it became called the O-Nod. In fact, there was even a Twitter handle called the Daily O-Nod or something. And they encoded that emote as a little phrase in Landmark. They eventually took it out after he left the company. But anytime I see the O-Nod, I laugh. So we have enough time to ride back and kill the O-Nod. Kill the O-Nod, kill the O-Nod, kill the O-Nod. And I think that will be it. Because I know Sapiens remembers Omid well because y'all worked together. And I think we all hung out at SOE Live that year that I was there. And that's where I met Morgard for the first time. Steve Denuser, who now works at Blizzard, and Josh Augustine also works for Blizzard. Linda now works at I think she's still mostly a contractor, but I think her main project that I'm aware of is that she's like the community nerd for Pantheon, for the sadly now late Brad McQuaid's game. She's doing her own thing now. She's not with the Visionary Realms folks anymore. But Linda's amazing. She'll always find work because she's awesome. Hey Rick, do you know she's coming to PAX East? Because, you know, we gotta hang out and stuff. And she's a contractor. Gotcha. That's what I figured. But she can pretty much get contracts with whoever she wants. East, you don't know. South, yes. Well, then do me a favor, since you are going to South, give her a hug for me. Give her my regards. And if I see her at East, then I will do that in person. Well, she always has a lot going on because she's so busy. Farmer Linda. She has a goat farm. When she worked both at Tryon back in the day and before the SOE, she would bring baby goats from her farm to work. Let's put this as our quest focus. We're going to ignore that. We're going to keep the even dim exploration deed up there so I don't forget. Goats, chicken, and... See, there was a weekend, not last year now, the year before last, that I was invited to a wedding in the Bay Area, and I went out there, and she invited me to her farm, and I was so excited to go, and she was like, well, it is a long way to drive, and I'm like, I got a rental, I don't care, got unlimited miles, it's like an hour and a half, I don't care, I'm gonna go see the farm and the baby goats, right? Because you gotta be weird about that. And sadly, the day of, she got a really nasty migraine, and I couldn't come visit. And I was very upset. I was very sad. So I had to, salvage the weekend. It was the only real downer on that weekend. And because the wedding was amazing. It was a couple of friends of mine that I'd met through David Gilmour's blog back in the aughts. back in the, like, 2007 and whatnot. And, I also was dumb enough to drive across the Bay Bridge in a rental because I was also invited to the house of the Jungle Queen and her husband, Greybeard Games, also collectively known as David and Devo Brevik. David is very famous for having invented Diablo, while being the primary creative behind Diablo 1 and Diablo 2. Very good friends. So, I get the invite to visit their house. So of course, you're going to make time. But it meant that I had to drive. Well, I didn't have to, but I chose to drive this rental in downtown San Francisco. Oh my god. White knuckles. Oh my goodness. Because the hills were like, whoop, whoop. And I don't do roller coasters. I get motion sick for sudden drops like that really easily. It was actually quite funny in retrospect. But it was fun. I also took the opportunity, is one thing you can do in San Francisco is you can go down to the Presidio, which is pretty much where, the big tourist trap down there. There's a Walt Disney Museum close to the Golden Gate Bridge. It's like the last exit before it, which I went through that. But you can also go to Lucasfilm. The Lucasfilm office complex is not. This is not Skywalker Ranch. You can't. Randos like us can't just roll up to Skywalker Ranch. That's a secure facility. But the Presidio in downtown San Francisco, anybody can go up to it. You can even go in the lobby during certain times of the week. Whoops, I need to go up this way. And there's some Star Wars stuff, some Lucas stuff in the lobby that you can look at. Like there's an R2-D2 if I recall correctly. I went there on a Sunday, didn't realize how that all worked, so I didn't get to see all the cool stuff in the lobby. But the famous Yoda fountain is outside the Lucasfilm building, and anybody can walk up. There's no fencing or anything. You just walk up to it and take as many selfies and goofy pictures as you want, which I did. And then I tweeted them at two of my friends who work at Lucasfilm. Say, hey, look, I was outside your office today. And they're like, aw, when were you there? I was like, it was Sunday. I'm like, yeah, we weren't in the office that day. I'm like, damn it. Yeah, you can roll up here, you just can't roll into it. Did I drive down the Crooked Hill on Lombard Street? No, I didn't. But I also chose not to make my best impression of Steve McQueen either. Alright, now we're going to go talk to Elladan, and that's what we're going to call it. So we're going to go back to What's It Where. If I can get off this hill without getting myself killed. And I'm still startled that I haven't seen a single indigo plant this entire time in the Troll Shaws, because generally I get at least one on a stream this long in this area. Now Sam has the old TV series with Michael Douglas and that guy with the nose in your head. I'm sure I know the name of it, but it's not coming to me because my head hurts, literally. Actually, you know what I'm gonna do real quick? I'm gonna turn the freaking... Oh my god, that's so much better. Rick, that's one downside of a key light. Is yes, you can turn it on and off, and you can also control things like the color temperature and whatnot through your stream deck, which is really cool. But having one in your face for any length of time is bad. At the end of my Christmas stream, which was 12 hours, my eyes were hurting like crazy. Right now they're hurting because I've been awake since 3:30 in the morning. And I didn't get much sleep beforehand, so I'm gonna take a nap after this show. Or what I'll probably do is doze while I put my wireless headphones back on and turn them back on and go listen to a couple of streams until I fall asleep. Sapience, when are you streaming next, my friend? I believe it's tomorrow night, isn't it? You doing some shenanigans Saturday night? Saturday night's alright for fighting and watching Sapience stream. Tomorrow night, streets of San Francisco, 10 p.m. Eastern. And of course, Mr. Sam Burke will most likely be there because he's an instigator of what games Rick plays on his channel. And hopefully we'll get Ara, one of the leading members of the DHS, rolling in to give all kinds of tips and advice and adventures. Carl Malden. Oh yeah, Carl. Yeah, he is the guy with the nose. That is an accurate description of Carl Malden. You ain't wrong. Ara, Queen of the Walkthrough. Yeah, and Ara is also the person that you normally put on follow anytime the DHS led your Hobbit rounds, and every year that we take you back to Isengard. Fun story. I'm sure Ricky will probably disagree with me. I don't care if you do or don't. We're taking the hobbits to Isengard song was the direct reason, in my not at all humble opinion, why Lotro has a permanent stream presence. Because if not for that song, then people think it was a really freaking cool idea to have all the servers challenge to see who could do it fastest with least amount of deaths and all that other business. You wouldn't have started streaming on the regular. You might have done it on your own, but that was the catalyst for that. And after your departure and then Freelorn took over, because there was the expectation of continued streaming, and then Freelorn helped start the stream team. That's why Lotra Stream has a permanent stream presence. Oh my god, talk to Elrond! Okay, we're gonna go talk to Elrond. You know what, maybe Elrond will give me a quest. And then we'll probably get Leonor dropping 1 bit. As always. And I'll be there. I will actually probably not fall asleep or doze off in the stream. I didn't last night either. I was actually... That was the thing, is I was intending to actually sleep yesterday afternoon, but then I got that burr up my butt about the burr under my saddle, as they used to say in cowboy talk, about crafting in the end game. And so I was awake enough to write that, and when I was done with that, I just couldn't sleep. I was like, you know what? My eyes aren't even drooping. How in the hell am I gonna sleep? I see Eldaleth updated the Lotro freebie of the week. Yeah, I do kind of miss the original notion of an official Lotro. That's actually one of the reasons why I'm not on Court of the Rings anymore, is folks wanted it to be an employee-only show, which I can't argue with that. On the other hand, I also felt like I was nagging Court a lot and being his personal girl Friday, as it were, and yeah, that's not me anymore. He getting to his own damn remembering stuff. That's why they pay him the big bucks. And I don't get paid diddly squirrel. It's not for that. Anyway, we're gonna go talk to Elrond, see what he's got for us. And then we're gonna go, and I'm gonna let you go. I'll be back next Friday. Next weekend, I will be streaming Winterstock. If all goes well, I'll be working from home permanently. Well, until the job ends at the end of February. And in that case, I'll be streaming all of Winterstock. If I can't get home until my usual stream time, then I will only stream the stuff that I'm available for, which makes me kind of upset because I want to catch those earlier events because some really good ones there. Eldar won Tahiti. I think Sarennan won Shield. Yeah, I think so. And that was the prize. Talk to Legolas. Okay. Oh, the 8 of Markwood. No, I'm not starting this quest. No. No. But I don't even really need to clean out my bags either. So I think that's going to be it. Thank you for joining me and Silver Star here, the Dispeller of Isengard. Which that's the title you get for dinging level 75 on the legendary server, and it is an account-wide title once you make that achievement. Let's talk to this guy anyway. So, as you know, I love to say, be good, and if you can't be good at it. Right? Alright, thank y'all for being here. And I will see you next week with Winterstock. If you don't like music on the Lotro stream, well, too bad, because guess what? I notified Jerry that when nobody was streaming, I was going to host myself on his channel. So it's easier to ask forgiveness than ask permission. So I voluntold his. It's kind of like voluntolding somebody, telling somebody. That's yeah. So. I will see you next time. I will try to stream something tomorrow night before Rick starts streaming. It'll probably be art. I kind of want to be arty. I've got a couple of 2 or 3 pieces of art that have flat colors. I want to actually get them worked on and stuff. So it should be fun. And I will see you then, I should hope. So y'all be good.